Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old student, arrived in Los Angeles in late January 2013. She was alone, embarking on a journey up the California coast. Her adventure began at the Cecil Hotel, a large, budget-friendly hotel in downtown Los Angeles. The Cecil had a looming presence and a troubled past, but to Elisa it was just another stop. What she didn't know was that the Cecil held a darkness within its walls. Built in the 1920s, the Cecil Hotel was once a glamorous destination, but over the decades the hotel's reputation soured. It became known as a haven for transients, drug addicts, and criminals. Suicides, overdoses, and murders cast a long shadow over the Cecil. Little did Elisa know that she was stepping into a place where reality seemed to blur. Elisa checked into the Cecil on January 26th. She was a bright and bubbly young woman, excited to explore the city. She kept a blog, documenting her travels and sharing her thoughts with the world. In her posts, she seemed happy and carefree, unaware of the sinister turn her trip was about to take. But behind her cheerful facade, Elisa was struggling. She suffered from bipolar disorder, a condition that caused her moods to swing between periods of intense happiness and crippling depression. As days turned into nights, Elisa's behavior became increasingly erratic. She was seen talking to herself, pacing the hallways and acting strangely towards other guests. Her blog posts grew darker, filled with cryptic messages and disturbing imagery. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. But what was happening to Elisa in the heart of the Cecil Hotel? On January 31st, Elisa Lam vanished. She was last seen alive inside the Cecil Hotel's elevator. The security footage from that day sent chills down the spines of everyone who saw it. The video showed Elisa acting erratically inside the elevator. She pushed multiple buttons seemingly at random as if trying to escape an unseen threat. At times, Elisa stepped out of the elevator and peered down the hallway, her body language a mixture of fear and confusion. She then darted back inside, pressing herself against the wall, desperately trying to make herself invisible. The elevator doors remained open as if held in place by an unseen force, while Elisa continued her bizarre dance of panic. She stepped in and out of the elevator several more times, her movements growing more frantic. Then, in a truly unsettling moment, Elisa stepped out of the elevator and into the hallway one last time. She turned to her left and disappeared from view, her fate a chilling mystery. The elevator doors finally closed, as if whatever had been toying with Elisa had finally grown tired of its game. What had Elisa seen in those final moments? Had she been running from someone or something? Days turned into weeks, and the search for Elisa Lam intensified. Her family, desperate for answers, traveled to Los Angeles to help with the investigation. The LAPD searched the hotel from top to bottom, but Elisa was nowhere to be found. The case baffled everyone. How could a young woman simply vanish without a trace from a busy hotel in the heart of downtown? Then, on February 19th, a gruesome discovery was made. Guests at the Cecil Hotel had been complaining about low water pressure and a foul taste coming from their taps. When maintenance workers went to investigate the hotel's rooftop water tank, they found Elisa Lam's body floating inside. The discovery sent shockwaves through the city and beyond. How did Elisa end up in the water tank? The tank was located on a secure rooftop, accessible only by a locked door and alarm system. Had she been taken up there against her will? Or had she climbed up there herself, driven by some unknown force? The circumstances surrounding Elisa Lam's death were both tragic and deeply unsettling. Theories swirled like dust devils in the California sun. Some whispered of a psychotic episode, suggesting that Elisa, in her fragile mental state, had wandered onto the rooftop and into the tank. But how did she get past the locked doors and alarms? Others pointed to the Cecil Hotel's dark history, suggesting foul play. Had she stumbled upon something sinister within the hotel's walls? The hotel had a long history of violence and death. And then there were those who whispered of darker forces at play. The Cecil Hotel had long been rumored to be a hotbed of paranormal activity. Guests had reported strange noises, cold spots, and even ghostly apparitions. Had Elisa somehow become entangled with the supernatural? Had she been drawn to the rooftop by a force beyond our understanding? The mystery of Elisa Lam's death remains unsolved to this day. The official investigation concluded that her death was accidental, the result of a tragic combination of bipolar disorder and the Cecil Hotel's lax security. But for many, that explanation simply isn't enough. Too many questions remain unanswered. Too many details don't add up.